Welcome back to Python Power Show. This is Alamin, and if you could remember in our last tutorial, we have created this website with just a heading 1, heading 2. This is a p tag and an image. Now this is just was just for demonstration. It doesn't look like an actual website. So to make this an actual website, we need something called styling. We need to style this website, make it look like an actual website, right? So how do we do that? Well, let me walk you through this. Now I'm going to delete all that is inside this body. You see, everything is within this body tag. So everything that is visual that can be seen on that website is in between this body tag. So I'm going to delete it all. Right now you can just see the opening tag of the body and the closing tag of the body, right? So which is the start and the end of the body, which means now we are inside the body and we can create some things that we are going to style. So now I'm going to create a div, okay, with a class of header, because I want to create a top header somewhere that I can do my navigations, my things. All right, so inside this header, if you want to create an header, if you want to create a header with a class attribute, so you start with a dot, okay, you do dot and then you give it a name. For example, dot header. So it's going to create a div with a class attribute of header. Just go with your tab and there you go, you have a div with a class of header. Now I'm going to do enter. So inside this I'm going to do dot logo to create a div with a logo class attribute. All right, okay, inside that I'm going to do an h1, okay, heading 1, you've seen that before. And I'm going to do an anchor tag. It is for links. Just if you want to add any link to your website, do it with an anchor tag. Say go with your tab thing. Now you can see a lot of strange things if you are a beginner, but if you're not, you might be familiar with this. Now this href means you're gonna type the URL of wherever you want this link to go to inside here, in between those codes, right? So here is the a tag, which means it's the starting point, and this one here is the end of these, the closing tag of the a tag, and in between here, oh my god, you write whatever you want it to appear on this website, on the link, the name of the link, for example. So right now I'm gonna type href. I'm gonna do hash. I don't want it to go anywhere for now. And then in between these a tags, I'm gonna do what did I call this website? I called it great site. Great. I called it great. Actually, let's just leave it as great. Okay. Now great, this is great. Okay, now we have a logo. So below this logo, below the closing tag of the div that I created a logo inside, for example, right here, this is the closing tag of the logo, this is the opening tag of the logo. So in between there I have a logo, which is, you can actually put anything you want. You can put an icon, an image, anything you want, but I prefer just a text as my logo. It says great, well, where it's just an h1 that says great. Okay, so below that I'm going to do another thing, or another what do I call this, another div with a class of nav. which will be my navigation links. I'm not gonna do anything hamburger or anything like that because we're not into JavaScript yet. So we're gonna just stick to like 2 or 3 links that will not squash our website. Okay. Anyway, we'll get to that. I'm gonna do nav, and then in between those, I'm gonna just do add some links. No. Add an anchor tag. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do hash, and then for the text, I'm gonna say home. Okay, let me duplicate this line below one more time. Great. Now let me edit this. Say let's say this is a website. Okay, let's do about. Let's say this is a website for kids. So let's do playground. I don't know where I'm heading, but it's a website for kids, so they must have playground, right? So actually, let's save this. Okay, let's save it. Now we have something that needs styling, right? First of all, let me quickly recap. Okay, with this div that says header, which is the parent of our children divs. It has a child called logo. It has a child that takes our logo, which is the logo div. It has a class attribute of logo. Okay, inside that we have our h1 that is taking an anchor tag which says just great. Okay, and then below that we have another div which is the same level as this div, right? They're both children of this header. So this one says nav, and it took just 3 links of that take you wherever you want to go in the website. So let's leave it that way. Great. Now to add some styling, we're gonna need a style sheet or a file that we're gonna use for this styling thing. So let's create a new file, and then I'm gonna name it. Since it's for styling, the conventional way is to name it style.css. Okay. So now let's save it inside this first directory. I have so many things going on, so save it there. Okay, it's in the same directory as our index.html file. So now to work with this thing, we're gonna import it. I've already done that because I was practicing this thing before the time of recording of this video. So you can see I've imported this already. This is a link tag, which means it's a way to link between your HTML and CSS. So now you have the link tag, the opening, it doesn't have any closing tag, right? So this rel means relationship, which is set to style sheet. The href is where you write the name or the path to where your styling file is, which is currently in the same folder as my index.html. So I just write the name of the file, which is style.css. That is the only path we need right here. So now that we linked our things, let's test and try and see if it's working. So now I'm gonna do first of all, let's see the website. Okay, we're gonna see some text, all of them are links, right? We've seen great, right? Now we have seen three more links below the grid. This grid was our was is sorry is our logo, and these are the nav things, right? If you could remember clearly. So now let's style them. I'm gonna do general styling. This, when you type a star in CSS, it means you are styling everything. Okay, so now I want everything to have a margin of 0, which means nothing will have a margin ever on this website until I set it myself explicitly, right? If I set a margin explicitly to a particular thing, it's gonna have a margin, but right now nothing is ever going to have a margin as long as it uses this style sheet. All right, and then padding should be 0 too, because no one is allowed. That's haram for me. All right, and then I'm gonna do box sizing, do border box, border, and then dash box. All right, now this should be enough for the whole styling thing. Now I'm gonna style every link, because this is what you can see. I went to the links and I saw they are all blue and they have an underline. I don't want that. All right, so I'm gonna do all links should have one styling, one style. So this is called a CSS selector. Now let me explain one thing. This and this are called as CSS selectors. They are called CSS selectors. I've used them to select whatever tag I want. The start I've used here selects every tag, everything, and this selector selects every A tag ever on this website. Every link on this website is now represented using this A. So this is going to apply its styling to every A tag. All right, every link will have this styling. All right, I'm gonna style them with no underline. First of all, I'm gonna set the color to, let's do black for now. Yeah, let's do black. So I'm gonna do black color, and then do black. And then below that, I'm gonna do text decoration, which is I'm gonna set to none. That will get rid of that underline below the links. So now let's see what we've done so far. We've made the links black and gray. Great is great, right? Now, in order for us to look at it from I wanted to add, or I want to add a background image to this header. For example, right here, this header, where is it? Here. I want to add a background image so that all of these children of the header will be on top of that background image. For example, let's do this. I'm gonna select, it has a class, right? So you write a dot, you type a dot to select a class, to select a tag by its class attribute. So I'm gonna do dot header. That's the name of the class, right? So we type this and enter, and then I'm gonna do background image, background. Okay, it's right here in front of me. I'm gonna just tap on it, background image, and then you do URL. Okay, I like VS Code. Then you do images, because it's inside the images folder of this thing. You see, I want to grab one of the images here. You see, it's in the same folder as my index.html, I didn't see the style.css thing. Why? Alright, let me see. Style.css, where is it? But I've saved it. Anyway, it's working, I don't care. So you've seen this is inside the folder images. The images folder is inside the same directory as my index.html file. So I'm gonna do just images, so it knows where to find that already. Okay, and then slash, and then I'm gonna pick one image. I'm gonna do laptop. I have an image called the laptop. Okay, it's an image of a woman generated by ChatGPT. It's an image of a woman holding a laptop. Laptop dot, I think it's PNG. Okay, let's try and see that. Alright, but first of all, let's add another styling. Let's do background. Let's do background size. This is self-explanatory, right? Let's do cover. So it's like the cover, like, yeah, you got it. It covers everywhere, but not. Alright, I'm gonna do this thing. If it did not cover everywhere, it's gonna repeat itself, but I'm gonna set it to just no repeat, so it's gonna stay like calm. Okay, it will not repeat itself. So I'm gonna do background repeat. That should be here. Yeah, background repeat. I'm gonna do no repeat. No repeat. Do not repeat. Okay, and then lastly, okay, let's try this. Let's see what is going on. Okay, great. Now I have this image of this woman, but it's not showing up. Okay, we're gonna do, let's add let's give it a very, I'm gonna do height. Okay, let's give it a height of maybe 400 pixels. So I want the image to like show up. Yeah, great. Now we have an image of this woman. Inside the image is holding a laptop, and now we can do we can go ahead with our more styling, right? So let's change, no. Let's change the styling of this anchor tag from black to what's the kid's color? Let's say purple. I don't like purple. Let's say pink. Yeah, pink. At least kids like pink, right? So let's do pink. Now, before we check that out, let's align these things. For example, these things are not aligned. Okay, so I'm gonna do the header. I'm gonna use Flexbox to set it side by side with the nav thing, because you can see it right now. If I run this code, you're gonna see this logo tag on top of this nav tag. All right, and I want them to be side by side. We're going to use something called Flexbox to do that. So to use Flexbox, just use display. This is their parent folder, right? I mean, not folder. I'm talking about parent tag. The header tag is the parent tag of the logo and the nav, so they are all its children. So I'm now styling the header, which is the parent. So I'm going to do display and then flex. Now save that, and then you run your code. You're gonna see them side by side, one like they are now side by side, right? So now we need some space right here to separate everything, like to separate them from each other, right? So I'm gonna do justify content, justify justify content. Then I'm gonna do space between, space dash between. It's gonna push them sideways. Okay, now great, you can see each of them on their sides, right? But this, okay, let me show you this. This home is trying to be of the same height as the great thing, so we want them to be like aligned. Okay, so let's change this. Let's do some more of the styling. Now we are styling the header, so now we should style the nav thing. So we inside the header dot header, we have a nav thing too. Okay, we do dot nav because it's also a class. So now we've gone inside the header and we are styling the nav links. Okay, the nav. All right, now let's push it down a little bit. So I'm gonna do margin. Margin is this space. Margin means the space outside of a tag, and padding means the space inside. You're gonna understand that later, but now I'm gonna do margin. I'm gonna say maybe let's do 15 pixels. Damn, sorry. I'm gonna do 15 pixels, but actually we want the margin from the top, so do margin top, that is 15 pixels. So let's run this. Make sure to every time try what you've done. Now you can see it's down, it's pushed down a little bit, but now I think this color doesn't seem so good, but I don't care. You do understand, and you know, we're just practicing things and trying things out. Anyway, we can add some things, okay, we're not gonna do that now. Okay, now let's as you can see, this page is kind of I've removed everything. Like I've removed any padding, any margin, except for this one that I've set by myself, but there's no margin here, there's no padding around these things. They're kind of very close to each other, so let's add that. Okay, let's make this page breathe. Now I'm gonna create something called container, and now it's just a class. I'm gonna define it by myself. Container. Okay, I'm gonna do, it's just for simplicity, container. I'm gonna do 20px. Okay, I've forgotten, it's margin. Okay, I'm gonna do 20px, that is 20 pixels. So how is this gonna work? Just add it to one of these classes you have right here. So I'm gonna add it to the header, just add some space and do container. So now it's gonna have that space. If it's gonna have that margin spacing, whatever. So now let's check that. You see we have 20 pixels of margin from the top and 20 pixels from the right and bottom, but we don't want that because you can see now our website is kind of crashed. Okay, you can see we have more space, 20 pixels, 20 pixels, and I'm sure right here we have 20 pixels too. So right now we're not gonna add that to the header because it's the parent. So let's do to the children. More work, but simplifies things a little bit. Container. Great. Now this one will have that styling, and then the nav thing. Let's do the container thing to do to that too. Do container. I'm sure that'll add some spacing. Great. Now we have that spacing. Okay, and if you can see that one of the links we have right here doesn't fit, so it just wraps down, and I think we should change this, right? Okay, but I don't want to change any styling. I'm gonna do just change the text. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do just play, not playground. I think that will fit the content because we're not trying to make anything complex right here. So I think we're good, but they're still not aligned. So let's add some more padding from it, a margin from the top. Okay, let's do margin top. Let's do 25 pixels. Okay, maybe that should align things up. So now I think we're good. Let's add some padding around these things. These links, they should have some padding around, right? So let's do that just now. So inside the nav, we do header, we do .nav, and then we do a, because they're all links. So we do padding, and let's add this. We do 10 pixels. I don't want it to be too much so that it will not squash. Okay, it will not crash. I mean, padding of 10 pixels. I'm gonna do. Okay, what will happen to these links when you hover over them or you touch them? Okay, let's define that here. I'm gonna do .nav a, and then you do colon, and then you do hover. That is when someone hover over them with their mouse, but in our case it's gonna be when you touch it. Okay, .nav colon hover. When you do background color, it's gonna change to something like let's do white smoke. I like this color. It's gonna do white smoke. Let's do this. So now when they have a little bit of padding, so that's why they're different. So now if I touch this, you see the white smoke. If I touch this, now great. Now we are starting to add CSS to our website, and I don't want this video to be very long, but code is just great. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you like, give me a thanks. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.